channel. This is Jessica Marie XO, and today we're going to be doing a mukbang. So I'm going to let my beautiful friend introduce herself, y'all, so y'all can get to know her a little bit better before we dig in.
Hey everybody, I'm Lauren. What do you want me to say though? Me and Jessica have been friends since like kindergarten.
I know.
My little buddy.
I know, y'all, and we are 24 years old. Like we have some years.
Yeah, we're getting up there. It's getting real.
It is.
Real out here for sure.
So can you tell what food is this? Like what's the restaurant?
So the name of the restaurant is the Pit Bbq Grill in Columbus, Ohio on Cleveland Avenue.
Hey.
So that's the food that we got today. I hope you like it. It's one of my favorite spots.
Okay. Well, I am so excited to try this food, y'all. We both got the same things.
Yeah.
So we have.
But you got that extra.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I was extra, so I literally got some got some chicken wings, because you know how like sometimes it's like your eyes, I guess what is your eyes are bigger than your stomach. So that's exactly what happened, because I was just like, how am I going to eat all that? But we got us some turkey ribs, and then some mac and cheese, greens, and some candied yams. So I'm very excited just to dig on in.
Me too. I'm excited. It smells good.
I know it does. Okay, y'all, so today we are going to be talking about being set apart. All right, we are Christian girls. Hey, shout out to my Christian girls. And so we're just going to be talking about like the process, our journey, or even just anything that comes to mind in being set apart. And we're also going to be throwing in like, okay, I went to Lauren's church, y'all, and I literally got blessed. Like literally the word, the message, it was for us. And that's what Lauren was saying. Like, I really felt like the message was for us. And I don't know about y'all, but I love going to church, and it's like that message was for me. So that's what we're going to be talking about, being set apart. So you want to start?
I think it's a challenge, like knowing that God is calling you to higher, and like really wanting you to walk in your purpose and the calling that he has over you, and being willing to allow God to set you apart is a challenge. It is, because it affects friendships, it affects relationships, it affects every area of your life, and like just being willing to let him pull and reshape and put you here. And it's a lot.
And it's definitely a lot to be in control, like to be like, yes, God, we trust you, you know, we know you, we already know God has our back, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, sitting in that and just like, okay, God, I truly trust you. I'm not just gonna say I trust you and not trust you. You know what I'm saying? And that's hard. It's hard to walk in faith sometimes. At least for me, it's hard to be like, you know what, God, I trust you, and really mean it.
And it's easy to trust him when things are going well, but it's when like you start getting knee deep in it, and the challenges start coming, and then you start questioning like, did God really tell me to do this, or is it worth all of this? Because I feel like everything is just like not coming together. It feels like everything's just falling apart at this point.
I agree. This is so good. This barbecue sauce is smacking. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's hitting.
Wow.
It's good.
Y'all listen. This is good.
It
is. So, is there a moment that you can think of where you felt that God was starting to set you apart? Like, okay, God, like I can see you starting to transition, and you're starting to move me, because moving is so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is. I don't know, I feel like I've had different moments throughout my life where I felt God like convicting me in certain areas, and I feel like it goes from like the convictions on your heart, and maybe you don't move on at that moment, but when you finally have the courage to just like move on those things that he's convicting you, whether it be like making changes in your life or removing people from your life or whatever, when you start to act on them finally and don't just like push them off, that's when it's like, okay, now he's like starting to move, and he's starting to do things. So I don't even remember what your question was. I started talking about it and I was like, what was the actual question?
Like, just the time where, I mean, you answered it. I feel like you answered when you were saying how, excuse our memories, y'all. So you were
focused on the food.
Right, it's so good. So you were just saying how you start feeling conviction.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, when God really starts convicting you in a lot of things that you used to do.
Yeah.
That you were so used to, just your regular, you felt it was your regular lifestyle, and God was making you feel like, you shouldn't do that, Lauren, or Jess, you should not do that. I know you used to do that in the past, but I no longer want you to do that. So you definitely answered it. I mean, and y'all, obedience takes everything. It's so hard to be obedient.
Yes.
I mean, oh my gosh, it's so uncomfortable. It's hard.
And when you start being, I didn't mean to cut you.
Oh no,
when you start being obedient in one area, then he's like, all right, now I'm ready to step into this area. And it's just like, it's like one thing after another. But like, he sees the overall plan. Like, he sees where he wants to take you. So even though in the moment it's feeling like, I'm not ready for that. Like, are you sure about that? This area seems fine. Why do we got to touch that? Why do we got to move that? Like, God sees the bigger picture in it all. It's a challenge.
Like, y'all, I love this thing because I love me some Joel Osteen. I really do. And so Joel Osteen, and how he speaks, he was saying how it's like we're puzzles, right? So what we see is like we see the bits and pieces. We see just one piece of a puzzle or whatever, but God sees the box. He has the box. He knows the complete picture. So we may be looking and we're so confused, like, where does this piece go? Or we're trying to piece our life and figure out our life. But listen, God knows the whole portrait. He knows the whole picture. So there's nothing to be worried about. And like you said in the car, like, it's more what's easier said than done. You know. So I mean, oh my goodness.
It's real.
I'm gonna try this mac and cheese, y'all. Hold on. I like to mix my mac and cheese and my candy.
The yams are good. Like, they are fire, and they're seasoned really well.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
Listen.
Wow.
Listen. You're gonna get to doing a little dance in your seat.
I know, my legs are shaking. Wow. So, I mean, even in church, so we were learning how, what is it, God putting us through the fire and everything, or am I saying that concept wrong?
God is, how fire is symbolized in the Bible is God. Like, and God speaks. How is it? How did he really? Maybe do some edits on this one.
Right. Y'all, when I say we took notes, but we're not about to be flipping through pages 80 and not be too much. So I was thinking about it. But it was just pretty much when the fire gets hot. When it gets hot, like, honestly, like, what really got me, I really do not know his exact words, but pretty much like the devil is going to attract, like, what is it? The devil is going to attack you what's strong, like your strength. Yeah, and your strength.
That was powerful.
For example, like me, which I was open with on my channel, is battling with depression and anxiety. It's like the devil is always coming for my mind, but then also knowing that through my adversity, through me having depression and anxiety, I want to do big things with that, you know, talking to young girls, being a mentor, doing what God's calling me to do in a way or a manner God's showing me how to do it. And it's like, without the adversity, I wouldn't have found my purpose. And like you said, your purpose is your protection. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, he was preaching, y'all. I'm like, I'm gonna have to make that trip. I'm gonna have to make that trip every Sunday, okay?
Come on back.
It was so good.
It was so powerful, and it's so true. Like, those areas that the enemy sees, like, where God is really trying to use you and transform you, he will attack. So basically, he was talking about, I can't give the whole context, I don't remember all of it, but it was Acts 28, and Paul had just got out of the ocean. Like, he was trying to basically, like, get to shore. I can't remember all the details or whatever, but he got there and he was swimming through the ocean. Like, I think he said the season was like winter, like fall, winter, whatever. So it was freezing. So he gets out and he's like shivering or whatever. And somebody who was swimming to shore with him, was that it? Started the fire?
Yeah, so wasn't there a few people?
Yeah, it was a few people that were with him, and they started the fire to kind of like help warm them up. Like they're settled from like persevering through the storm, whatever. Yep. And Paul went to add a log to the fire, and a serpent came out and bit his hand. And so that's what Jessica was talking about, like where the enemy attacks your strengths, is because Paul was a writer and Paul was a healer. And later on throughout the scripture, Paul goes on, like, it's a lot of context behind it, but anyways, Paul goes on to like touch and heal so many people in that land that he was in, but he was touching people with his hand, and that's the same hand that the serpent tried to attack. Yeah.
And also, y'all, develop and look at yourself. You know, what are you struggling with? What is a battle and a challenge in your life? Like, what do you feel like what do you feel like the devil is attacking? You know what I'm saying? And he even touched on finances. I mean, there's different aspects of people's life that they go through. And we always try to look at things as, oh, it's a curse, or just get down and sad. Because I used to be that person. But God is slowly, truly bringing me out of that. And I'm really, really, like, when being set apart, going back to the topic of, it's just where I was, I guess you would say a year or two ago, I'm not that same person right now. And just how God is evolving you every day to make you not who I thought I was, but who he sees me as.
That you don't even see at the time.
At all.
And then you arrive. You don't ever like fully arrive until you meet him. But when you're like starting to come into like who he is, you're like, oh shit, I didn't even know that person was in me.
I mean, oh my gosh. So even to touch on, like, you know, friendships and relationships, I really truly feel like that everyone comes in your life for a reason, you know. And it's like with that, when I guess the situation presents itself, either they're like gone. What do you talk about fake? What do you say, like fake? Like when the fire gets hot, he was saying how the fake friends, the relationship, all stuff is going to be,
they'll come to surface.
Yeah.
And they'll start to reveal themselves, because the point that he made with the serpent biting Paul's hand was that the serpent was always in the fire, but he didn't come out until more heat was added.
Literally? Yeah. See, wasn't that a word, y'all? I was like, stop it.
And that's how to be in our lives.
Wow.
As the fire gets hotter, as you start getting higher and closer to God, like all those serpents will reveal themselves. Whether it be through friendships, relationships, shoot, even family members.
Right. Come on now. Listen. Because, like, seriously, y'all, God's vision for your life, which we know this, it's way more greater than what we're seeing and what we're living. You know what I'm saying? Like, our God is just so victorious, and he's so loving. And it's just kind of like, a lot of the time I used to see my current circumstance, and it will make me more depressed, y'all. It will really make me more frustrated. But just to see how how he was saying, like, sometimes we like try to look in the future. We gotta see where God brought you out of, you know, who you were a while ago, or
sometimes remind yourself,
what you overcame, because that can really make you feel good. Like, thank you, Jesus, hallelujah,
and encourage you to keep pushing.
Yes. These are fall off the bone.
So I know I was trying not to use my hand. I was trying to be all like proper, but you're going in, so I might end up there. I have to monitor how many times I'm visiting this. I used to go more often, but since I live further out, I don't go.
How far away were you from it before you moved?
Like 10 minutes.
Oh wow,
it wasn't far. I wasn't going like crazy regularly, but you know, it was more often.
But what else? All right, y'all, so we're just gonna be throwing stuff at you, like what's on our heart. So is there anything in this moment or in the season of your life right now that is on your heart that you would like to talk or speak about, or even encourage someone that is watching?
I've been seeing a lot on Facebook. Like, there was this one post going around that people kept sharing. It was something along the lines of, like, don't not talk about what you're dealing with because you think that people don't want to hear it. Like, we want to hear about it now to be able to support you, and it may also help other people. I might have added on that last part, but it was something along the lines of that. And I think that's very important, because whether you like realize it or not, you can start to give off false perceptions to people. And like, we're all in this together. Like, we are all struggling with things. I think that we need to be more honest about it so that we can get the support that we need, but also to help other people and know that they're not in it alone, whatever situation it is that you may be going through. So I don't know, I saw that and I was like, wow, that's really good.
And honestly, it's the truth. Yeah, I mean, I've seen that post too, so maybe it really was a thing that was going around, because like a lot of people too, when it came to me having depression and anxiety, no one was like, you know, someone just recently told me, like, when you posted you had that, they were in disbelief. My personality is very high energy, positive, always laughing, and it's always us. I mean, you know, it's always the ones that's like, you a little too happy today, girl. Like, what is really going on? Like, you have your layers up. And sometimes when I wore a mask, I got extremely too comfortable. I got too comfortable with that mask, so it was just more easier to tell everyone I'm good, I'm okay. And actually, last summer I was working at a behavioral center, you know, a lockdown unit, working with like children that were dealing with suicide or have attempted suicide. And so I think, where was I going with that? I lost the train of thought. That was so big. It was something important.
You were working there at the time. Was it a change in you that was happening while you were working there?
No. I really forget. This is horrible. Oh my gosh, it really made sense, y'all. I was really like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's the devil, y'all. I'm gonna blame you today, devil.
Yeah, because he don't want you to share your story. I'm trying to think of like where you could have been going. I know. Did you meet somebody there?
Oh yeah. Okay, thank you.
Look at God.
I know. Amen. So like, literally, what happened was, it was like, we had to always discuss our feelings, and it was not okay for the children. We had our feelings. And how do you feel today? You could not say, I'm okay. They will tell you, okay, it's not an emotion. Okay, it's not a feeling. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you upset? Are you getting... But like, literally, it was not okay to just say, I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm good. Because they were quick to say that it's not an emotion. Like, you need to give me more. And that's literally like, I want to know if you're, you know, like, you know, how are you doing? And that's when I ask people, I'm generally asking, how are you doing? Because I want to know. You know what I'm saying? So, well, there are some people, I don't know, Lauren, if you met them, but they will literally ask you how you doing, and they don't care. They don't care, and they, you know. But then still also, there are those people like us, and you probably have friends or family or whatever the case is, a mentor that's literally asked you, how are you doing? Be honest with them. You know what I'm saying? No matter who has hurt you, no matter who has betrayed you, whatever the case is, speak your mind, you know, because that's how more suicide rates go. When you hold so much inside of you, it's like, oh, I can't do this no more, or I'm just so this, or your feelings are just going up your body, and then that's when your mind loses control, and then you're done. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you have to talk to somebody. You do to help you go through it, because that was me for a really long time. In a lot of ways, I think that still is me. I internalize a lot of things. But for me, the biggest step was starting to go to counseling, and that was extremely beneficial, to your point about just asking, like, how are you doing? How do you feel? For me, like, I just really didn't tap into my emotions. Like, everything I had to justify, and it wasn't just like, this makes you feel sad, this makes you feel stressed, this makes you mad or down, or this disappointed you. Like, for me, it was just like, well, this happened, so now I just gotta do this and whatever, but like, wasn't feeling. And you have to go through that like feeling process and like work through that, because emotions are real. They are.